We back. Oh, I'm tweaking. I didn't go live on Instagram. Forgot to hit the button. My fault. My fault, guys. We're a little late, but it's cool. It's cool. We back.
It's only 4 minutes. You feel me?
Huh?
I said it's only 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we a
Gotta
little late,
deal with it
but it's all
sometimes.
good. It happens.
I deal
Stuff
with it
happens.
sometimes. You feel me?
Stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, we good. We good. Me, Ty, you know what I'm saying? The originals, Ty said. Ty stupid. We
Yeah,
here. Some
for
some some
sure.
some guests might roll in, you know what I'm saying? They might not.
Emphasis on
Never
that
know.
might. You feel me? But
Never know. Never know. But yeah, appreciate everybody for pulling up. If you're here, you know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell their mama, all that good stuff. Y'all know what it is, man.
send it around. Send it YouTube, the Instagram. I don't,
Like, comment,
send it. Just
subscribe.
send it around. You feel me?
Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know. Um, Sports been heavy. It's been a lot happening.
For sure.
It's been a lot happening. Like past, like I'd say since like Thursday of last week, it's been getting deep. Like it's been a lot happening.
It's a lot going on right now. Like
We
you
got
know what I'm saying.
some Shador stuff happening. Some Shador rumors going around happening, I should say. We got some college football playoff stuff to get to. I'm sure you're happy. You can stop crying now.
Hey,
You've
hey,
been
hey,
crying
hey.
for like 3 weeks.
The,
I'm sure
the committee understood what I was saying. You feel me? The head to head got to matter. But regardless, we'll get in that too.
we'll get to
I
it.
understand Notre Dame. I understand why Notre Dame mattered though. But like
Yeah, Notre Dame decided they wasn't going. Yeah, we gonna
playing a
get.
bowl, I think that's a little soft to me. But you feel me?
I
Toots
don't
his
think it's
own.
soft. I think it's a. Yeah, I don't think it's soft. I think it's a statement, but we'll get to that too. Um, just a lot of stuff happening, and then we more into college football. I don't know if you've seen the reports. Jerome Moore just got fired, just lost his job,
And got arrested.
Yeah, got arrested. Uh, what else? Teams losing in the NFL.
What's new about
NBA.
that?
Yeah. What's new about that? NBA. All of a sudden we done got to the part of the season where we looking at OKC, and I'm watching them play right now, and we like, do they break the record? Like all of a sudden we
I
talking
think
about
it's
it.
the real conversation.
It's a real conversation. Like it's a lot happening in sports right now.
You feel me? That because when they were, what are they like 22-1 right now?
23-1 playing against the Suns, and it looked like they're gonna get them belt tonight. They already up 57-42. They already up 15. It's still 3 minutes to go in the second. So looking
They
like
was
they
like
might get him belt.
19-1 without bro. J
Yeah,
Dub. So
yeah.
I was like, when I saw that, I mean, anything was possible then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. So it's a lot happening. We got to get to it. Where do you want to start? I'll give you the option where you want to start, and then I'll just kick us off from there.
We can stay with football. It's kind of been I don't want to say the script, but
You want to start college or NFL?
let's start NFL.
Okay.
Move backwards today.
So Monday Night Football, because we recorded on Friday, so we'll go back to Sunday. But let's start with Monday Night Football. The Eagles go out and lose in overtime. Jalen Hurts throws 4 interceptions, makes history as being the one of the only people to have ever thrown an interception and fumbled the ball on the same play. Somehow he managed to throw the interception. One of the Chargers players knocks the ball out of the Chargers player's hands. Jalen Hurts recovers it. And I'm going to tell you, as I'm watching it, I'm like, how how funny would it be if he fumbled it? Sure enough, like you ever just and it was the I'll be honest with you. It was the hater in me. It wasn't no like it wasn't like you know what I'm saying? Like I was just watching football and being like, oh, like how funny would that be if he fumbled? No, it was the hater in me that was like, yo, what if he picked this joint up and fumble it though? Like, I can't wait to talk trash. And sure enough, he picked it up and fumbled it. And so he had a terrible game. Now, I will admit that in the terrible game that he had, he made a lot of really good throws. And a few of which were dropped, and it wasn't his fault. And so you can't just put this on him. While he gets a good portion of the blame, you can't just put this on him. You have to put it on him. You have to put it on AJ. But it's really just them two, because even Saquon went out there and looked like for a few plays, he had gotten his life back. Like he had gotten some juice back. What did you see from the Eagles and Jalen Hurts in that loss? And was that loss more of an indictment on the Eagles? Or did it show just how good the Chargers are?
That loss is completely on the Eagles. Like, I don't think the Chargers didn't play their best football either, but like the Eagles actively like tried to lose the game. Like you can't turn the ball over 5 times and be like, well, I guess technically 4 since 1 and 2 happened on the same play, but you can't have 4 turnovers and then be like, oh, we're finna win a game. You can't throw an interception. All you have to in overtime, driving down the field, you pretty much set yourself up in good position. You kick the field goal, I'll probably tie. You score, you win. You want the big play, throw an interception on a 1-yard line. I mean, to me, I respect the Chargers because at the end of the day, they came out there and competed. I will say that game earned Justin Herbert a lot of respect in my book. Only because he went out there with that broken hand. Like, he wasn't playing scared. When it was time to run, he was tucking that thing and he was getting down. Like, he was going out there, still taking contact. So I respect it. Even with the broken hand, they was swiping at the ball, all kinds of stuff. And I know that thing was busting after the game. But respect to Herbert for that. But the Eagles, it adds to what we've been seeing all year. Like, they just don't look like the team we saw the year before. And it is a team loss, but like the quarterback has to protect the football. Like, he's the only person that's for touching the ball every single play. So it's like at some point I gotta give Jalen Hurts the blame, but he did make throws to win them the game had they been caught. So it's like you gotta take some good with it, but it's like you can't watch that performance and be like, man, Jalen Hurts was so. But this is gonna come back to Eagles fans always like he top 5. He top this. He top 3. That ain't a top 5 quarterback performance right there. Like, it was rough. And like you say, watching that play when he threw the interception, got the ball back, and I was looking at him right when they knocked the ball out. I was like, oh, he can get this back. And I wanted to know what he was going to do with it. Was he just going to get the ball and fall down, or is he going to actually try and make a play with the football? And good enough, he tried to make a play with the football and coughed it up again. It's just, I feel like he's too experienced, quote unquote, to be kind of making certain mistakes like that. In my opinion, it's like, I feel like you got to bite the bullet. You already threw the pick and they just blessed you with the ball back. Go down, bro. Live to fight another day. But for sure, it's interesting watching Eagles fans starting to be like, okay, maybe Hurts ain't what we thought he was, but it's really just because they mad about his performance in that game. And
I was about to say that shouldn't be surprising at all. We've seen Eagles fans turn on some of the best to ever play. Bubba Chuck is the best pound, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, Bubba Chuck is the best pound for pound basketball player to have ever played the game of basketball. Simply meaning he not MJ, he wasn't Kobe, but at a generous 6'1". At a generous 6'1".
Take all the accolades away, take all the
Take all that away.
Strictly talent. Strictly talent.
If Bubba Chuck is 6'6", like Kobe or MJ, he might have gone down as the best player to ever play the game of basketball. The point, though, is we've seen Philly fans, not just Eagles fans. We've seen Philly fans turn on some of the best ever. We've also seen them turn on players that, while may not have been great at the time, had shown flashes of greatness, had shown flashes of being elite, had shown flashes of being in Ben Simmons. So, and that's just the most recent one. We saw them turn on James Harden while he was there. We've seen them hate Embiid and love Embiid in the same night. We've seen them, Eagles fans threw snowballs at Santa. We've seen them vandalize their own offensive coordinator's house. So the Jalen Hurts hate was only a matter of time. But somebody said something that I thought was really interesting. My boy Jay Tuck, he said, and he's a Cowboys fan, admittedly, so you have to take it for what it's worth. But he said, winning a Super Bowl only does you but so much, and only for a few months, because you see what happens.
Over. Yeah, like
you see what happens afterwards. Like, you still have to play football afterwards. People, that quarterback doesn't have one, or that quarterback doesn't have one, or that quarterback doesn't have. And it's funny because he was like, just watch what I'm talking about. And he said it at the perfect time, because he said it after a season in which Philly won the Super Bowl, which I think was perfect timing to say it, because you knew that if any fan base would turn on their team quickly after a Super Bowl, you knew it would be Philly, which would mean Super Bowls don't solve all your problems. And what we're seeing right now is that Super Bowls don't solve all of your problems. You still have the same players. You just got a different coordinator. But if we're being clear, if we're being honest about it, the system has been quite the same for some time. See, the problem is they keep bringing in guys who don't know how to call plays for this system, for these players, for these guys, for that quarterback. We've seen these guys do good things for other people, not quite for quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts. I think it's interesting. The biggest problem is the OC from the Eagles. I also think it's time to trade AJ Brown.
I agree with the OC being the biggest problem. I've been saying that. It took me 3-4 weeks to be like, yeah, this ain't gonna work for them. But that's on what's the name? They said Nick was in the offensive meetings this week before the game. Like, he was all in the meetings, all that kind of stuff, being more vocal. I seen somebody on Twitter was like, maybe this is Sirianni's system and Petrulla's just calling the plays.
That's what I really think is happening, bro. I think Sirianni built a system that he thought was good for his quarterback. And I don't think he was wrong. I think the only problem is because the system used to work. Let's be very clear. This system was not terrible. For all the hate that I have for the Eagles, for all the dislike that I have for Jalen Hurts, if we're not revising history, the system worked at one point. The problem is they haven't evolutionized the system. It's nothing that's been changed from the MVP candidacy that he had for 10 games in, what was that, 2022, 2023 or whatever it was?
Yeah, I think it was 23.
Yeah, 23. It hasn't changed from then. It didn't change. The only thing, people just thought it changed because you added Saquon Barkley. You added Saquon. So it didn't change. But now if Saquon doesn't look like 2000, like 2K Saquon, like 2,000 yard Saquon, then you go back to having a very mediocre offense at best. You go back to having terrible numbers. And you just keep bringing in guys that don't know what they're doing in Sirianni's system. Sirianni's system. It's still the same system, though. It's like that conversation that people are having about the Steelers defense right now. Mike Tomlin keeps bringing in guys to call his plays in his defensive system. You got to change the system, though. You got to evolutionize your system at some point. See, coaches become stubborn after a while when they see some success. Oh, this is my system. My system works. I don't need to call the system. No, I'm just going to have somebody else come in and call the system that I know works. And that's all we're seeing from Mike Tomlin and the Steelers with that defense. That's all we're seeing from the Eagles and Sirianni with this offense. Coaches are stubborn, bro. They're stubborn. I don't like to trade AJ Brown, though. I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan, so by all means, please trade AJ Brown.
I always say if that's what they want to do, but
this isn't an AJ Brown problem, though. Let me tell you, this is a greed problem. If we're being totally honest, and I watched this happen during the Cowboys game. That first quarter of the Cowboys game, they went down and scored two times straight, 3 times straight, basically. It was the 21 points that they put up. They're greedy. You have the most elite offense, not from a play standpoint, but from a talent standpoint. There's nothing that you can do that people can actually stop. AJ Brown is included in that. You can run AJ Brown on slants and comebacks all night long, and he's just stronger than everybody else. He's stronger than every corner in the league. They can't cover him. But if you get greedy and you don't call what works and you stop feeding AJ Brown the ball, see, once they get happy, once they get AJ Brown back involved, then it's like, we cool now. I did what I needed to do. AJ Brown is happy. We watched it happen during the Eagles game. You got AJ 2 touchdowns earlier. I don't know if he scored both of them. I think Hurts actually tush pushed one of them. But you got him involved early. You got him, 60, 70 early yards? And then you just stop giving him the ball. If the Eagles keep feeding AJ Brown the ball every play in that Cowboys game, they win easily. And you can say that about a plethora of games. Obviously, Monday night, he had a few drops. Few costly drops, I might add. But that's not what you expect to see from AJ Brown most nights. And most nights, one-on-one, AJ can beat anybody. And he's kind of always one-on-one. You can't double him because you got Smitty on another side. You can't double neither one. You can't double both because then you don't have enough in the box. The box is too light for Saquon. They get greedy. They are a detriment to themselves all the time, bro. I don't think you need to trade AJ Brown though. That's not the issue here.
I will say, like you say, from a Commanders fan standpoint, get that man out my division and I'm gonna sleep comfortably. But in terms of the Eagles, I don't think that's a solution for their problems. You can substitute AJ Brown for another receiver. They'll still have the same problems. It's just won't be as vocalized because whoever is like Smitty's not really a diva. Like he a diva, but he ain't like AJ Brown diva. Everybody, all the receivers want the ball, but he's not gonna go and call out the OC, complain about the offense as much as AJ Brown has been doing in the media. You change the receivers, you'll still have the same issues. You just won't hear about it as much, and then they lose. Everybody will be like, well, what's the problem? We know what the problem is. It's the offense. I will say, the only thing I will say recently about AJ Brown, I do think Hurts being more focused on getting him the ball is, in theory, hurting their offense, or at least not the offense, but Hurts' performance. I think he's fine, like, dropping back. I ain't got to worry about pressing anybody. Like, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. If you open, I get you here. I feel like he played better that way. When we got to, like, force feed, now he thinking, like, man, I got to get AJ the ball. Now I'm forcing it.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
That's true. I can see that, too.
I said AJ traded because you won't have to worry about force feeding the ball. I feel like you get other receivers in affiliates having several seats.
I was about to say that continuity is a big thing in the NFL, and the Eagles do not have that on the offensive side of the ball because their coordinators are constantly changing. That is one big issue. But even with that, it's like we talking about at what point is this Sirianni's system? So like we can change OCs, but how much of the system is Sirianni's compared to the OC? Like, I'm sure Kellen had his own hand. When Stetchen was there, I'm sure he had his own hand. I'm not so sure about, like, Petula. When they had Brian Johnson calling the plays a couple years ago, like, how much of that is them and how much of that is the head coach? Like, man, I want to run the offense this way. Let's see if we can get this done. And it's not working that way. Like because like when I think about Sirianni, I'm always like, what does he do? What does he do? Like,
See,
most coaches, they got a hand in like y'all coach now, Brian. He's involved in the offense. Dan Quinn for us, he's now involved in the defense. He said he was listening to all the play calls, whatever. He involved. I don't know what Sirianni does. So when it comes to time when we're starting to critique play on the field, it's like, well, are you coaching this or not? Or do you have a hand in this or not? Because now it's like, where does the blame really go? But I feel like they should. I don't even know where Petula came from. I gotta do research on that. But I do feel like they should do more work into the offensive coordinator hiring, because having 2, 3, 4 years together makes a big difference than one and dones, 2 and dones. Like, it's too much for at least Jalen Hurts, because when we go back to college, he's been changing systems basically every year. So, like, how comfortable can you get playing that way also?
yeah. Listen, I think B made a really good point when he was talking about Green Bay the other day. When it's probably like 2 weeks ago now, when he was like, bro, we live in a world now where people think that it's better to have 4 2s rather than 2 2s and a 1. Talking about wide receivers. I am not of the mindset that you trade AJ Brown because you feel like you have to force feed him the ball. If AJ Brown comes to me and says he wants a trade, okay, cool. But if I'm the front office, I'm not trading AJ Brown. Are you out of your mind? You see, we live in a world now where the Cowboys have 2 number 1s, right? Like you see what it's doing. It's done wonders for that offense, right? Like, we live in a world now where the Eagles have 2 number 1s, and the reason that the offense is what it is because AJ Brown is there, not because he's not there. Like, the offense, that wouldn't be the same team without AJ Brown. It's not the same team without AJ Brown. If as a matter of fact, if you get rid of AJ Brown, you know how much easier it would be to double Smitty and still slightly be able to stack the box. Like, you can now okay, key Smitty, cloud him, stack the box. That's game plan. If you think the offense is stagnant now, I promise you get rid of AJ Brown, you haven't seen stagnant yet. Because now Jalen Hurts will look like a deer in headlights. I promise you he's gonna look like a deer in headlights. Because now he's played in luxury. When you've played in luxury, that's like you got a mansion and somebody be like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna move you to Section 8. You're gonna be like, bro, what are we talking about?
It's a crazy comparison, but it is facts too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you live in luxury, if you live in luxury and then somebody, like, players go bankrupt all the time.
They see Odell up there talking. I ain't saying he bankrupt, but you did see him.
That's what I'm saying.
100 mil ain't no money.
They live in luxury. They go bankrupt, and all of a sudden, like, they don't know. Like, what do you mean? Like, literally, the Odell comparison was perfect, because what do you mean you don't know how to hold $100 million? That's the same concept. You have AJ Brown. What do you mean you don't know how to? You now you don't have AJ Brown no more. That offense gonna look different. You like, who am I supposed to throw the ball to? Just Smitty? No. They need a solid receiver in the draft for them to develop and build camaraderie with Hurts. It's tough, bro. It's tough. And I promise you, like, this is the thing. Top wide receivers are not going to want to play there. Like, top wide receivers are not going to want to play there. That's not a place. That's not a destination spot for top wide receivers. It's not a destination spot like
I'll say it depends on what they care about.
Yeah, I mean,
cause we know we talking about receivers. They want the ball. They want.
That's what I'm saying. You're not talking about like if I'm an offensive lineman, that's a great place to be. If I'm a running back, that's a great place to be.
Like Terry McLaurin, for example, he not a diva. Like, he don't say too much. He gonna be a team player. You can find somebody like that. I mean, hey. But like
But
it's
you know
it's
what?
slim pickings in that
It's
aspect.
but I would say to you, you don't know that. Talking about Terry McLaurin specifically, you don't know that until you put him on a true winning team. He was the one on a bad team, like which means he was a 1,000 yard receiver every year. He's 1,000 yards, 10 tugs a year. It's nothing to complain about. You don't want. You don't want. What is he complaining about? He stayed down.
He needs to
Like
go more.
but this is what I'm saying. You're Terry McLaurin in a situation where you're not going nowhere. They paying you. You the
Yeah,
one.
now.
You know what I'm saying? You the one. Like, what was there ever to complain about if you're Terry McLaurin? Nothing. You get your 1K, you get your 10 touch, you go home. Hurts needs a top tier receiver. Hurts has to do much. He doesn't need to do. I don't think it's about needing a top tier receiver. I think it's about once you've done something and once you've continuously done something, you forget how to not do that thing. Yes, I remember when Jalen Hurts didn't have AJ Brown. I remember that. That was a good Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he wasn't. What I'm saying is you can't live in a world where you have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, the best offensive line in the game, and then you say, you know what? I'm tired of this. Let's get rid of AJ Brown. Let's just get a couple more wide receiver twos and see what happens. That's just not how life works. That's not how life works. Once you've played in that, like, you know what I'm saying? Once you've played in that realm of life, you don't just move back. You don't just move back. We gotta move.
Everybody ain't cut out for that Brady, Mahomes, Allen life. Like,
and that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is I don't think he's
do it
not
yourself football. Like, I don't know. Everybody cut out for that.
I don't think
so. It's interesting if they ever revert back to that. Now it hurts. I'd be interested to see what it look like, just because he can be turnover prone, and I feel like he's already asked to do a lot. You have to ask him to do more. Is gonna like overstimulate him, but it's gonna be interesting to see.
Overstimulate him is crazy. that was insane. Anyways, outside of that, Cincinnati was up big on Buffalo. Blew the lead. Was this game more of a Josh Allen indictment or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow cost him the game. I mean, bro made a great play on that screen, but like he cost him the game. Picks on back-to-back plays. And I go Zach Taylor. I mean, I get it though. Like Burrow, he the guy. He's your guy. You're gonna win, lose, or draw. It's gonna be because who playing quarterback. I respect it. At the same time, we're up on the Buffalo Bills. We need this game for the division. I feel like at some point we got to start trying to run the clock. Chase Brown, here's the ball. Give me what you can give me. Let's see what we can do right there. And then if I want to go back in the air, cool. But I feel like the Bengals, it was quarterback Burrow and Taylor let them down. And like I gotta go always play call. I know Zach Taylor's the play caller, so like, I gotta go on him because at one point we gotta like start thinking ahead. But I get it, bro. You playing the Bills. You trying to like put it on them because you know Josh Allen. They call him Superman. So it's like, I feel you, but yeah, that game to me is more on the Bengals and like their lack of closing that football game than it is like the Bills playing great football. But still, the Bills did what they needed to do because that's an important game for them too.
All right, getting through quick. Tampa Bay loses to New Orleans 24-20. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how if you're Tampa Bay, you let this happen. Somehow though, Baker Mayfield went out there threw for 122 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick.
He can't be healthy.
He can't be. I don't think he is.
Because the drop off from like how he was playing early in the year to now, I just don't. You don't really see that, like in terms of how high his production was to where he's playing at now. He got to be some kind of injured, but it's like it's tough because what can they really do? You got to get. You don't got your best receiver no more. So like the other receivers can't really do what Mike Evans does. You got to get them the ball somehow. Your run game not all that great. So it's like you asking Baker to make plays, and right now he can't. Losing to the Saints might cost them the division this year. Like
they still atop the division.
I know, but
they gotta go see. But that's the thing. They both of them 7-6. They still gotta see. They still gotta see the Panthers. That's
gonna be a game that matter.
They still got the Falcons.
Oh, all of them matter.
Yeah, they still got the Falcons, the Panthers. Hell, they might really drop the division. They still got the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Dolphins.
It's a chance they might not win a game again. Like it's gonna be interesting to see. They win one, they probably getting.
Whoa! Do they got the Panthers twice? They got the Panthers twice, bro. They got the Panthers. They got the Falcons, the Panthers, the Dolphins, and the Panthers again. Last game of the season.
These next 2 weeks gonna be crucial for them. They got to beat the Falcons, and they got to get that first game against the Panthers if they really want to make the playoffs. But the way they look right now, I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if that's possible for them right now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be something to look out for. I think that was it. I think we can get to no. Jesus Christ. Houston, Kansas City.
I said it last week when we was picking the games. I called Houston, and you can tell the Chiefs aren't where they need to be, and
but they're bad. They're bad, like really bad. I think they're worse. They're worse than even I thought they were. Like I jumped off the ship probably 5-6 weeks ago.
Bro, they can't run the football.
Bad. They're bad.
They ask him Mahomes to be Superman, put him on his back, but it's like we can't run the ball. How many real wide receivers do we have on this football team? Rice, and then the rest of them is like you fit in where you get in. And then we talking about Kelsey. He declining. Like this ain't the Kelsey we've been seeing it in their prime. So it's like they're asking him to overcompensate for everybody. Bro, it's not you. He can't make up for Kelsey. He can't make up for the lack of wide receivers. He can't make up for the lack of run game. Like he can't do everything. And then I can't even talk about Andy Reid and that play call when it was 10-10. You in your own territory. It's 4th down. I get it. You feel me? You like, I need this, my season on the line, basically. And you ain't get it. And then the Texans went on to win a football game. So now you really in the hole. It's just, they got to reevaluate where they at this offseason. Like, I get it. You wanted to run it back. You lost the championship last year. You wanted one more try at it. You see what this one more try got you. So I think there's going to be some real changes to that Kansas City team next year.
They're bad, bro. They're bad. I don't even want to talk about them no more. Here's what I want to talk about. Houston has somehow revived themselves, knocked down what was supposed to be 3 of the best teams in the AFC, in the Bills, the Colts, and the Chiefs. What was supposed to be. And I don't care. Like they tried to do this after the Cowboys game, bro. I don't care that the Chiefs don't look the same. It's still the Chiefs. You go out there and you beat the Chiefs. It's still a good quality win. You're not about to tell me like, yo, they're just terrible now. It doesn't matter. They're a bad team. No, you go out there and you beat the Chiefs. You go out there and you beat Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce and like, you know what I'm saying? That's still a quality win. You go out there, you knock down the Colts. You go out there, you knock down the Bills. That's 3 quality wins out of 5 in a row. And now they're 8-5. And I don't see why this can't be a scary team in the playoffs. I don't know that anybody wants to see this team come playoff time.
They don't want to see the Texans defense. I think the jury's still out on our offense. But I think that defense, yeah,
but can I say though, like this is like when the Packers when the Browns went out there and beat the Packers early in the season, and everybody was like, well, how did that happen? How did that happen? And all of the analysts were like, yo, well, we know how elite that defense is. They can win on any given Sunday. I think that's kind of the point. The jury is still out on this Texans offense, but that defense is so elite that even with a mediocre offense at best right now, you go out, you can win any game. And they got the last head-to-head against the Jaguars. They put up 36 in that game. So you got to tie with the Jaguars, which means you got to go out and you got to have more wins than them. And I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. I don't see why they can't win out. You got the Cardinals, you got the Raiders, you got the Chargers, and you got the Colts again. That Chargers game might be the toughest one on the schedule, especially if you get to play against a 45-year-old.
Yeah, I will say Phillip Rivers.
Like if you get to play against a 45-year-old Phillip Rivers, you mess around and you finish with 11 wins, 6 losses. Now let's go to the Jaguars, who are first in the AFC South. They're 9-4 right now on the rest of their schedule. Yeah, that's not good for you. They got the Jets, they got the Broncos, they got the Colts, and they got the Titans. I don't know, but they both make it anyway. I don't know that anybody wants to see them. I don't think they do. I don't think I would want to see them, and especially with as weak as the AFC is right now. Because the top teams aren't there. The top teams are not going to be there.
It's a good year for all of those teams. There's no, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't see, nobody looks like above the pack. Like, of course, the Patriots look good. You know what I'm saying? The Seahawks look good, stuff like that. But it's like, you look at everybody, it's like everybody's closer together than they are like spread out.
Yeah.
So a team that has been struggling in the beginning of the year, like the Texans, they get hot at the right time. We know about that defense. What if CJ Stroud get it together? And he start looking back like his rookie year self. Ain't no telling what can happen. Even the Jaguars, though, because I feel like they haven't been getting much respect. And I understand it because it's like, they're the Jaguars. We don't really know what.
You got to show it.
Right. So it's like, the Jaguars, like, we playing with a chip on our shoulder. What do we get to the playoffs? We surprising folks. If Trevor Lawrence plays like everybody thought he would play coming out of college, who knows? It's available, or it's available. The championship is winnable for a lot of teams right now, and I don't think you could say that like the last 2 years. I feel like we had a select bunch we knew that was like playing for it, but like right now, it's like whoever makes the playoffs can't get there. So, like you say, who wants to really see the Texans? Because that defense, something serious out there.
Anyways, my fault, bro. B said he ain't get the link. I don't know how he ain't get the link. You see the chat? I texted the link to the chat, right?
Yeah.
It's in there?
Yeah, it's in there. I got that jump.
All right. Oh well. He might pull up. Let's see if you pull up. Anyways. Yeah, bro. I don't know. We're gonna see how this AFC playoff picture shake out. I don't think it's a lot of good teams over there. We was having this debate last night. Are the Bills a disappointment if they don't make it far, knowing as bad as that defense is? Because we've seen a lot of good teams go out in the playoffs and get manhandled because their defenses don't play well when you get to the playoffs. I think that that's an interesting concept that you could still say that this was a disappointment because of how bad the AFC looks right now, even though you know how bad that defense is.
I think it's a disappointment because I think their standard now is Super Bowl or bust. Like we've been in the playoffs basically every single year, and it's like where we got to the AFC Champ game once or twice, but it's like I don't think that's where their standard is now. Like when we talk about the Bills, we expect them to be competing like up there with the juggernauts in the AFC, and it's like you ain't really been held or you haven't achieved that standard this year, but like you're still a good football team. But it's like if you don't, especially this year, no kryptonite because they probably don't make the playoffs. Now we asking you to beat teams that ain't never been there before, don't have the same experience as you. So if you don't get to the championship game, the Super Bowl, I think it's a big disappointment. And like they have to start looking in the mirror too, because it's like, again, you know how I feel about McDermott, but it's like you can't be a defensive-minded coach and then the defense be so bad. That's kind of how I feel about Dan Quinn right now. But like he in year 2, McDermott in like 6, 7, so it's could be longer than that. So it's definitely a disappointment if they don't go far in the playoffs. Like they get to the AFC Champ game, I'd be like, maybe not because of the defense. But it's like at this point, I can't keep giving you passes. You got to get there. You got to get there, and if you don't, I feel like that's a disappointment in itself.
I mean, I guess, bro. I guess I'm just not like I'm not a big believer in teams that don't have good defenses come playoff time. I don't care who your quarterback is over there. I don't care. It's just not like it's not a recipe for success. It's not a recipe for success. Now, what I will say is, you look at the standings, and they're not a top seed. See, they're not a top seed.
The Patriots in that division, so I know they're in the wild card.
I was about to say I would have been more inclined to be a believer in them if you had to come to Orchard Park. Teams got to come to Orchard Park. All right, cool. Don't nobody want to play in Orchard Park in January. I don't care who it is. Don't nobody want to play in Orchard Park. But you got to get on the road and your defense that bad? Nah, bro. I'm not a believer. Last thing in the NFL so we can move. Cleveland Browns.
They might have lost, but just because they be trying to hold my man. You feel me? Gotta throw the wrist up.
Let's just cause bro really went out there.
Yeah, drop that jock. Yeah.
Perfect time. Anyways, bro went out there and had a day. He went out there, you know what I'm saying? Put up 29 points. 23 for 42, 364, 3 tuds, 1 interception, 97.7 passer rating, 56 QBR. Was decent. Was real decent. And I've seen a lot of people say it was the Titans. And that's cool and all. But it ain't a lot of people that put up 350 on the Titans. I'm just saying. We can't hear you. You went out. It ain't a lot of people.
I was saying, ain't nobody put up 350 on the Titans.
Nobody. Ain't nobody did it. So you can't Oh, it's just the Titans when he go out there and he put up a day. But when he go out there and he play the Raiders and he had like a mediocre type joint, you know what I'm saying? He was mediocre against the Raiders. Well, yeah, it was his first full start, first full week of practice. Now, it was a few things on the line. He got some more reps, he got some more practice time. But also, we know how important this was because he went over there and he played Cam Ward. Now we got to get to the elephant in the room as we're talking about this team. Kevin Stefanski. Why the hell did Kevin Stefanski go for 2? Not only did he go for 2, he took Shedeur off the field after Shedeur had been marching them all day, putting them in positions to win all day. You take Shedeur off the field to go for 2 and Wildcat? There has to be some type of...
Check his phone. He betting. He betting out there.
I don't even think he betting. This is real hate. This
Nah,
real
it's
hate.
something for sure.
I don't even think he betting. Like, if he was betting, I would almost feel like he was trying to sabotage the team. This don't feel like he trying to sabotage the team, though.
Just one person.
This is personal. This is personal. And I seen what everybody said. I know what the video is. Should I play the video? I'm gonna let you talk and then I'll play the video just so people know what's
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this.
Going on. But it's got to be something going on.
I'll say this. Had they gotten a Wildcat and said go and ran straight up the gut, I don't think nobody would have. I mean, people would have still complained, but I don't think the criticism would be as bad as it is right now. You went in the Wildcat and you tried to have a running back hand the ball off, and you got Brewer running there like a chicken with his head cut off, throw the ball back to the other side of the field. Like, what are we doing? And then, like you say, he just drove you down the field. He is on one right now. Your best chance is to put the ball in the same player that just took you down the field hands. That's not what we did. Like I said, I'm not even mad that I'm mad about the play call from the Wildcat than I am more about them getting a Wildcat. He has done that. He done got them in a Wildcat multiple times this year. Something he apparently likes to do. That's what I'm gonna just say what it is at this point. Apparently he likes Wildcat, whatever. Run the ball up the gut. But why do you have Junkins? Why do you have him in the backfield knowing he's been getting downhill, being a bruiser, and then we're going to try and do all this cute shit? Like, what are we doing? So, and then what make it worse, I know everybody be like, if you down 8, I would go for 2. But like when they scored the previous touchdown, I would have just kicked the extra point. Because now, how we score again, we're down 7. We don't even got to go for 2 unless we're trying to win the football game. Different situation. We're trying to win a football game. I'm pretty sure Shedeur's on the field. Well, maybe not, but I would have him on the field. It's just funny that I feel like we all can see Shedeur is by far the best quarterback on that roster, and he's probably been that way since week 1. And now we're trying to figure out, well, why is he now just getting reps? Why is he now just, you feel me? And it's like, it's blatant as day. Stefanski is the one holding him back. He's got to be. And it's like, I seen on Twitter the other day, somebody was like, Stefanski get all this hate for like the play calls and stuff, but nobody's like congratulating him on developing Shedeur. And it's like, what development? What has he been doing? He just started playing. Shedeur is the one getting extra rep in by himself. Well, not by himself, with the other, no, I'm saying the other reserves on the other practice field. It's just weird to me that I feel like everybody can see how bad I don't really want to call it hate because I don't really know if he hate that man, but like the disdain, the dislike for Shedeur, whether he'll admit to it or not, it's like we all can see it now.
Let me just say, you better than me because I'm calling it fool. I'm calling a spade a spade. That's hate out there. That's hate. That's hate. Anyways, let's try this right quick. Let's try this again. It didn't. They told me it wasn't good. It wasn't real good last time. So let's try this. Let me see. Let's share. Y'all see my screen?
I gotta add that jump. Hold on.
Y'all can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Let's try
it. Evidence of why Kevin. I just found out some damning, alarming evidence of why Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur Sanders so bad.
Oh shit!
And it makes sense now. I couldn't figure it out before, but it makes sense now. In 1992, Tim McCarver was interviewing Deion Sanders in the postseason playoffs, baseball playoffs. And we all remember, poured water on Tim McCarver.
Tonight, Deion Sanders apparently upset with Tim McCarver's criticisms of his two-sport day last Sunday. Felt like he would gain a measure of revenge, not with champagne, but by dousing McCarver with 4 tubs of ice water. McCarver was furious. So was CBS Sports. Rick Gentile, their producer, complained to National League President Bill White last night. McCarver wants a meeting with White as soon as he can get one. And after this confrontation,
Tim McCarver was very hostile about it. You feel like a real man, don't you, Deion? Why is that relevant? Why is that pertinent to the situation? Tim McCarver is Kevin Stefanski's granddaddy.
Oh, that's crazy, Lord. What? So you telling me all this is because... All right. What's up, B?
What's going on?
Yo.
Boys?
All right. That's insane. Let's clear a few things up about this stuff. Tim McCarver is not actually Kevin Stefanski's grandfather. And the reason I didn't play the rest of the video is because they got to telling some tales. It was like, yo, imagine being Kevin Stefanski and Tim McCarver is your grandfather and you're 10 years old and Deion Sanders does that. It's not the complete truth.
Yeah.
But Tim McCarver is the father-in-law of Kevin Stefanski. Tim McCarver's daughter is who Kevin Stefanski is married to. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but if it does have anything to do with it, it's absolutely hilarious because then it starts to make a little bit of sense. Hey, the queen tell you, you know what I'm saying? The queen tell you we don't like these guys. Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is. I don't know, but it does seem insane that this just happens to be a coincidence, if you will. I don't know what type of coincidence this is, but it does seem to be quite the insane coincidence. B, welcome to the show. What you got, man? What you got? Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski.
I'm saying
Start with the game.
I'll start with the game.
Yeah.
All right. Shedeur looked how people like me have thought since before the draft even came about. He's a franchise quarterback.
That's how you felt? That's how you felt?
I've always been that way. I said Shedeur was supposed to be the number 1 pick. He was better than everybody in the draft. Cam Ward, everybody. But we all see what happened. Now, we're not going to sit here and try to ignore the fact that they're not going to admit it publicly, but we know it wasn't because of Shedeur's play. And they definitely can't say it was because of his personality. If anybody watched football, we've seen how Jackson Dart acts since he became a starting quarterback. So I don't want to hear any of that personality stuff. That's just being confident in your game. They ain't gotta be said. But the bigger picture of it is the NFL penalizing Deion for all the years that they hated how he went about things. Deion was the first he was just that he was the first guy in the NFL that we labeled as just strictly that guy. It's just that simple, like on and off the field, like cornerback getting the type of contract he got, everything, and it was some part in it that came back to get him. Now, us seeing that video code that you just showed us, at that point, that just add fuel to the fire of something that I don't know how it took this long for nobody to not hear about it. If I'm gonna be honest, like you said, if the missus say something, that go, and that's her father. That happened 2 years ago, and her father went on to hate Dion for the rest of his life before he died. So that being said, with your father hating Deion Sanders, I'm expecting the daughter to also hate Deion Sanders and anybody else in the family for the future. Kevin Stefanski is now a part of the family. We see how when Dylan Gabriel was the quarterback, he was cheap, smiling ear to ear when Dylan would come to the sideline. We see in the Raiders game not too long ago, he wouldn't even acknowledge it during the huddle. He did it again this week. It's just like, at this point, I don't know how long the Browns GM gonna keep him there when Shadur was his pick, and he sees Stefanski's not gonna let him play how he would want him to play.
Well, this is I think what you just said is interesting because a lot of people have been saying that Kevin Stefanski is purposefully tanking for better picks come the draft next year because they actually have like they're actually like pick 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that next year right now.
They got two of them. They got 2 of them at the moment, but we know the Browns are always trading up to get more stuff. So
yeah, but they don't have the number 1 pick yet, and so there's rumblings that Kevin Stefanski is trying to tank for those better picks, which I think is interesting because most people believe that Kevin Stefanski is getting fired anyway. He's not going to be there to see those picks come to fruition anyway. Do y'all think Kevin Stefanski is on his way out the door, or do you think that he gets to stick around to see this thing through?
Honestly, I feel as though the Browns GM is 2 sides of it. I feel as though should he be fired? Yes, just for the way he's going about things, and that's a part of being a head coach. Will he get fired? Probably not, just due to the fact of Kevin Stefanski's resume. He's always been known as a good head coach. The only problem in this situation is the play calling, and it's a lot of situations where you can remain the head coach and give up offensive play calling, like he just said he did. But as we saw in the press conference the other day, he said that the play call was his decision. So at this point, I'm kind of confused on, did you give up play calling 3 weeks ago, or is all the play calling you still, like you just said in the post-game conference?
Now we know he gave up play calling to a very young offensive coordinator who was basically a quality control guy before he got said play calling duties. Do you think he actually didn't give up play calling, or do you think he gave it up and he's just covering for his young guy right now?
He didn't give up play calling. He gave up play calling. He gave up play calling so the public would stop being on him about him being the reason why Shadur and the play calling is the way it is. He never gave up play calling. You can see it in in the packages they run. Everything is still the same. The only difference is the usage rate that Shadur gets to put the ball in the air. He got 45 attempts his first 2 games. Dylan had like 85. Flacco had like 90. We see the yards per attempt, everything. Just the eye test simple. You see Shadur is a lot more comfortable than Dylan Gabriel. He looks like a field general. Like, looks like he's leading the offense. He can push the ball downfield. Dylan Gabriel is like, when he sits in the pocket, he don't sit in the pocket too long. For one, he can't see over the line. That's never an exaggeration in the NFL. You cannot see over the line. And what do you think a 5'11" quarterback is going to do in the NFL when 6'2" and 6'3" quarterbacks let you know? About 60% of the time, you don't even see your target when you throw the ball. That goes for tall quarterbacks too, because of everything that's going on the field. So why do you think Dylan Gabriel is always deciding to roll out of the pocket or something, or throw a check down when he's sitting in the pocket? He can't see anything. So it's like Stefanski, he was trying to force the issue so much, letting him throw the ball 90 times. Like Steelers game, he threw the ball like 53 times for what, 210? Shadur throw the ball 50. Shadur throw the ball 53 times. You might throw 500 out there with touchdowns. You see already he was the second quarterback as a rookie to give you 300 passing and 3 touchdowns after Joe Burrow. He was the first quarterback to give you 303 touchdowns. They said, like, so the proof is in the pudding. Shadero, like Primetime and all of them said, when the time comes, he going to show what's really supposed to be what it's supposed to be. And he's showing everybody exactly what it is. And Stefanski made it obvious that they're taking with that play call on 2-point conversion.
For sure. All right. Look, we 2 hours in, or not 2 hours in. We're 8 hour in. If you here, appreciate you for rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, tell their mama, all that good stuff. Drop a comment, man. Drop a comment, drop a question. You want to talk? Let us know something. Give us something to talk about. We love to you know what I'm saying? We love when y'all tap in with us. Let us know something, man. Let's move though. Like me and Ty was talking about earlier, big day in sports. We gotta talk Sharon Moore. Yo, what is happening at Michigan right now? Everybody, let's take this thing all the way back. First of all, let's take this thing all the way back. Jim Harbaugh is there. We have cheating scandals. We got all type of stuff for an insane run of college football, wins, championships, dog walking of Ohio State for a few years. And then in the midst of it, you say, you know what? We won our championship. I'm gone. I'm going to the league. And your protege in Sharon Moore, he takes the reins. He gets to move up. He becomes the head coach. No interview, nothing. On a very, very weird handshake deal. Nobody ever truly knew how much Sharon Moore was getting paid. Nobody ever truly knew what the contract stipulations were. It kind of seemed like he was on just a 1 year prove it type vibe out there. Just vibing. They was just in Michigan vibing. Just them in the snow, just vibing. They was just going about it, doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they lose, or no, they go out, they beat Ohio State in Sharon Moore's first year as head coach. It was an up and down season, but they beat Ohio State, so he gets to keep his job. They go what was it? 9-3 this year, I believe it was.
Yeah, we're 9-3.
Yeah, something like that.
As terrible as everybody likes to say that they were, yeah, they were terrible by Michigan standards, but they were 9-3, clearly bowl eligible. Got the highest paid quarterback or freshman quarterback in the nation, who you only expect to get better. And today at what was it, like 4:45? Sharon Moore gets fired. It's after work. Everybody's off work. And it comes across your screen. Sharon Moore fired for inappropriate relations with a staff member.
And then he gets arrested. So,
like an hour later, he gets arrested.
So my question is this.
Go ahead.
What did he get arrested for? And how old is this staff member?
Because
great question. I can understand the firing.
I can understand the firing, but arrested
now, like Ty,
your question. We're pushing like the question is
because the only thing is different. Because at that point it's a little different because we can understand getting fired. We can understand getting fired for relations with a staff member, right? Because that's just simply not professional. We can understand the firing.
Okay, cool.
Now when you get arrested, now there's something we gotta talk about because having relations with a staff member isn't illegal. It's just not professional. So you'll get fired.
Ethical. We talking about ethics.
For you to get arrested, for you to get arrested, you asked the perfect question, Ty. How old was this staff member? Was it a intern? Maybe we thinking. Was it like a Like, was it somebody that was a little younger, like 18 student? Like,
Is
that's
it
what's on the
is
staff?
him getting arrested? Is him getting arrested 2 separate incidents? Like, did he get fired for messing with a staff member who is of age and then got arrested for something else? And they
I don't think that's a
decided to
coincidence.
use.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think what
Oh,
he
It's
got
not a
arrested
coincidence
for,
that you get
either, but
arrested an hour later.
I think what he got arrested for is either 2 reasons. It's either for what he got fired for, or he was doing what he got fired for a lot more than just that person, and they just found out about a lot more things. Or it's two options for me.
Regardless, I think this is what I have to say. I think that whatever it is, you have to believe. You have to believe that it's something crazy, and here's why. I'm not saying Michigan was covering up anything that Jim Harbaugh was doing, but this is what I will say. Colleges all the time. This is when we talk about workplace relations. This is not something that is new or foreign to colleges at all. I'm not putting nobody under the bus.
I don't think it's new. I don't think it's new for any profession. I think
That's my point. I mean, we listen. We saw the CEO. Well, who was it? They got caught up at the rock concert. You know what I'm saying, earlier this year. Like, these things are not like, and this is why I was okay talking about it, because these things are not like this is not
it's who you're around every day. I mean, it's a lot of the times it be bound to happen. It's the person you're around every day at work. You tend to be at work more than you at home at a lot of places, especially in the professional world for sports.
There's running jokes.
So,
there's running jokes in the world. People have work wives and work husbands and all that good stuff. Okay, cool. But when we talk about the firing, and we talk about, and not even just the firing, when we talk about the arrest, that's where
things get
a little dicey, because what could you have possibly done to have gotten arrested? Shout out my boy Donnie, man. Gotta shout out my boy Donnie. I wish I could have you on, Donnie. You can't talk no college football right now. My boy Donnie is a scout for Division I college. He's my boy nice. My boy nice. He know what he's doing out there. You know what he's talking about. He knows ball. But you can't. This is one of them things where it's like, listen, if you like your head coach who just, who beat Ohio State in his first year, goes 9-3 in his second year, I'm not guaranteeing that they keep him if it's just workplace relations. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that bring it up if it's just workplace relations. What I am saying though is, this is something you give people. Oh, you can. I'm gonna have you on. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna have you on next week, Donnie. I forgot. You're right, because you did pull up to the college show last week. This is something that you just don't see happen very often. People getting fired for something like this, and especially it getting announced in ESPN and Pete Thamel and all of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Writing about it like as if it were breaking news of some sort. Like, the university had to have been very upset with whatever it was that happened for them to allow this to be announced in that manner, because a lot of times, like, hey, we just going, hey, he's not the right fit. We're gonna let him walk. But for them to announce it specifically an hour before he gets arrested, it's just not a coincidence that happens.
I also think that I think he became the coach out of respect for Harbaugh, but I don't know if Michigan itself wanted him as the coach. I don't know what the situation is. Obviously, I'm sure he's guilty, but what I'm saying, I'm sure if they used this exact moment to get out that contract, to get him from his position, because it was easy.
But this is what I'm saying, and I think I think what you're saying is, first of all, be careful with the I'm sure he's guilty part.
Yeah, that was a bust.
Yeah, I'm sure he's guilty is nasty. Be careful
in
with that.
The sense of what they fired him
innocent,
for.
But always innocent until proven.
What they fired him for is what I mean.
No, you got it. Listen,
always innocent until proven.
Hey, not I'm sure he's guilty. What I'm saying though is even at that, I think you're right. I think you're right. I don't think that they really wanted him as the predecessor to Harbaugh. I think it did have a lot to do with respect to Harbaugh. I think it had a lot to do with respect to the fact that when Harbaugh was missing games, he was the one that was leading them out of the tunnel. I think it had a lot to do with all of those things put together, that all the Harbaugh situation put together. I mean, he's been there since 2018. He's been on that staff for a minute. He knows the ins and outs. Here's where I think you're right, but it's interesting because you're right. If they just didn't like him, they didn't need to do this. This didn't need to happen. If you just didn't like him, we could have just
they could have just brought out his contract like they do other coaches.
And that goes back to my original point, B. We never knew what the actual contract for Sharon Moore was. Remember, this all started on a handshake deal. And I'm sure there was some type of contractual agreement there set in place at the school because this is Division I football. You have to pay your coach. You have to pay your coach. There has to be a contract. I'm sure there was something, but it started on a handshake deal. If you remember him saying that, at the beginning of last season, he came out and said, he was like, yeah, bro, this was kind of like you know what I'm saying? Like we talked about it. I was like, yeah, cool. They was like, yeah, I want you to. I think
this was just a big reason for him too, because I like Poggi as a better fit for them anyway. We seen it when Moore dealt with his suspension.
For sure. I think the point though is in that, like, if you just didn't want him as your coach, it didn't have to be all of this. Like, I can think of a million reasons. Hey, listen, these aren't his guys. A lot of these guys, like we are done with the Harbaugh era. All those guys are gone now. We're starting a new era. We starting clean slate. We didn't really like it. I can think of a million reasons that you can fire a coach without having to say all the things that they said, without having to give Pete Thamel the story, and without having to coincidentally, once again, fire a coach an hour and 15 minutes before he's consequently arrested.
Yeah, that's record time right there.
Like, yo, this wasn't they was in cahoots, bro. They had
that whole thing already figured out. That mean the arrest and everything was already lined up. They already found out about that. Got arrested, everything.
They was literally on the phone with the police chief. Hey, bro, just give me an hour. I'm gonna arrest him. I'm gonna fire him. After that, just give me a chance to fire him. Give me a chance to put it out. Let the whole world see it. After that, y'all can do what y'all gotta do.
Because it ain't no attachments if he get arrested without the job title. He already was fired. So they ain't want that on the name for him to be the current head coach.
I'm literally looking at the article that Pete Thamel wrote. It says ex-Michigan coach detained by police after firing.
You see, when other things happen, they say Michigan. He would have said Michigan coach. They ain't got nothing to do with them when it's
about PR.
Yeah, it's always about PR. But that's why I'm saying, like, it didn't have to be this. If you wanted to fire a coach, it didn't have to be this. Nonetheless, though, that's enough of that, man. That's enough for Sharon Moore. Let's move.
You good now, bro?
You cool, bro?
We back, right? We back.
No. I wasn't even talking about that. You cool? Like your team. You know what I'm saying? Your team got they spot in the CFP, bro. You done crying, bro? You
done with your complaint? Done with your complaining?
It ain't nothing about crying, bro. It's about doing the job correctly.
Wait, before you even get into it, let me ask you this question, because I had the same conversation with a friend of mine. He probably watching right now. Shout out, bro. I had the same conversation with bro about Bama when people were saying that they should have been in, but they didn't get in, right? So when y'all play and y'all go out here and y'all get stomped into the ground, what does that mean for the committee and the fans such as you that got the spot in the 10th spot, and you got teams like Texas, like mind you, that same team that had that lost to the best team in the country by 3. That's in the Indiana conversations and whatnot. So I know you expect y'all to pull it out, but I'm saying we got to weigh all of our options. If y'all go out there and that happen, what's your response?
There's no response. Like, I mean, their loss is whatever, but they
it
rightfully
ain't
deserve to be in the
See,
playoffs.
it
There
ain't
you
whatever.
go.
See,
Now
you see what he doing? You see what he doing, though, Cole?
Now
If
you
y'all
coach.
do
Now
that,
it's whatever.
First of all, I don't think they're gonna lose to Texas A&M. So let's start there.
we know
But
that. So
if
you got to
they
weigh all
do,
options.
but
if
if
they
they
do.
do, it's okay. Like they rightfully
No,
earned their spot in the
no,
playoffs.
we
Everybody
not.
can't be
We
champions.
not gonna keep doing that, Ty. People do that with a
Everybody.
lot. People do that with a lot of things, bro. We
Everybody
not
can't
going.
be
We
champions.
not going to beg for somebody to get something, and then we give it to them, and they do everything we expected them to do, which is why
It's
we were
not if,
questioning giving it
whether
to
they
them.
win or
And
lose,
then you
though.
just be like,
Listen to me.
What is
okay,
it
it is what
about?
it is.
Listen to me though.
No. Here's the
Whether
problem.
they win or lose, it's not about any,
No,
bro.
no,
At the
no.
end
Here's
of
the
the
No,
day,
problem. Literally,
at the end
it's
of the day,
literally
bro, the
about that.
conversation was, should we be in over Notre Dame?
No.
And my
It's
answer was
literally
yes.
about that.
that's
It's
exactly
literally
what it's about.
that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. And here's why you're wrong. The reason that you're wrong is because this college football playoff is not about the college football playoffs. It's not just a statistical numbers based. You get in because you did this. There's a panel of people that have to put somebody in.
If you're not a conference champ, that's how it goes.
Yeah, no. So therefore, when the conversation becomes, yo, if you go out there and you get dog walked by Texas A&M, they look stupid for putting y'all in, knowing that there was somebody else playing better football because Notre Dame is playing better football than y'all right now. There's not a question about that. There's not a question about that.
Dog, did you look at the schedule? Who did they play?
Cole, it's the same thing I told you. Texas is playing better football than them. Did you guys see them in the last 5-6 weeks?
Bro, I'm not listening. Listen though.
This
We
can
can talk
y'all
about
got
Notre
in
Dame.
y'all got in because of
I'm
the
not trying to hear
head-to-head.
nothing about Texas. I know that's your team, B. But when you lose, this is why I also feel like if anybody shouldn't have got in, just like they knocked BYU for losing a conference championship game, they should have done the same thing to Bama.
See, no, it's
not
levels.
my fault.
It's levels. It's levels to losing your conference championship game.
That's why
Texas Tech
they
is known
didn't
for
go
defense.
anywhere. They're the first team to lose their conference championship game and did not get knocked in a raking. That is
Look who they
biased.
played.
Oh,
Look who
like
they
it
played.
is.
That's why strength of schedule matters in college football, though, Ty.
Alabama, bro, at the end of the year, they struggle with Auburn. Like, you're talking about bad football teams. I get it. Whatever. They have 10 wins. Cool. But like
nobody gets penalized for that.
We're talking about the best 12 at the end of the year. And if Notre Dame's included in that, so is Miami. But Alabama is not. It's not like you say, the committee is made of people who have to talk and whatever. Cool. But I can't sit here and tell me that Miami is not one of the 12 best teams because they lost 2 games by a combined 9 points. I'm not trying to hear that.
When I say that, bro, that's why I be saying that you be wrong with certain things.
9 points, and all of a sudden they're not that good. But they beat Notre Dame, who's won 10 straight games. Oh my God! And they played 2-8, whoever 3-9.
Everybody that watch college football is different, bro.
One is not the same. It's
not.
not.
I don't know why you keep saying it's the same. It's not. We gave you the perfect example when we all played Louisville and got stomped out by Miller and Moss. And you tried to bring up 4 losses.
Louisville was 10-2. And you asked me if they should be ranked ahead of us. I would tell you yes. But
the point is the quarterback.
That was when be ranked ahead of us. That's the same conversation they had. If we were 9-3, we wouldn't be ahead of Notre Dame. We're 10-2. BYU lost. Now Notre Dame and Miami is side by side. Strength of schedule similar. FPI similar. Everything is similar. Cole. And then you have to look at what happened on the field. You had Nick Saban, who was arguably the greatest coach of college football ever, go on live TV and say Miami dominated that football game, because that is what happened. You can't put Notre Dame in and then leave out Miami, who dominated the same team. Everything about Notre Dame is the same from when they played. The quarterback, the running back, it's all the same. Like Saban said, you can say Notre Dame deserves to be in. Cool. In the same breath, you can't tell me Miami did not deserve to be in when they beat the same team you're saying should be in there. That's all I'm saying, because they have the same record, and all the stats, all the stuff they use is nearly identical. That's back to what they wanted to get in. Win the football game. The game is played on the field. Win. The same thing with Texas. You wanted to be in the playoffs, beat Florida. It's not Miami's fault y'all couldn't beat Florida. It's not It's not Miami's fault Notre Dame couldn't beat them. It's not Miami's fault that the committee decided after 13 weeks to put Miami and Notre Dame side by side, and that's how Miami jumped them. I don't have no control over that. But if you're asking me if Notre Dame or Miami is better, I'm picking the team that played on the field and won. And I would do that if Louisville was 10-2. If SMU was 10-2, you asked me the same thing, I would say they deserve to be in front because they played and they won. But they're not 10-2, so it's not the same. I mean,
that's the difference from what I was saying, though. Like what I said when I asked you the original question. Like, no, I'm not saying y'all don't deserve to be in. My issue is your response.
If we get in and we get stumped.
That's my issue with your response. How you was like, it is what it is. It's not. It is what it is. Because, like Kobe said,
it's not
if y'all go in,
how are we acting like other teams ain't got in and got stumped? Who are also Power 5
and
teams?
we questioned the committee for that.
You missing the point. You missing the point. The point is, if you are the back end team to get in, you're literally the last. You're the last of the P4 teams to get in. It was an argument about who was playing their best ball at the end of the year. Y'all got in, and everybody knows y'all got in because y'all won the head-to-head. This was the argument that you made. You won the head-to-head in August, dog.
Yep.
We're talking about
the season started in, right?
It's December. You're talking to me about a
win though.
In August.
Okay,
that's not a good way. That's not a good way to think. That's not a good way to go about football.
And listen, if this wasn't your team, you would not be saying this.
I got the perfect analysis for that. I got the perfect example for that.
You're not telling me that if this isn't your team, you're not caping for a team who won a head-to-head match in August. And we're talking about it in December.
Wait, hold on, Cole.
Hey,
Todd, let me ask you a question real quick, Todd. So, like Cole just said, you're not going to say that. We know you're not going to say that. You're saying it because of your team. So let me give you this example right here, right? Prime example, NFL football.
They're not the same.
No. Let me talk. Because I knew you were going to say that. All of our teams play 3 teams twice a year, right? When they play twice a year, please explain to me how often, when our teams have divisional games, if the game goes one way the first time, we say it's going to go completely different the second time, later in the year. Let me know.
Depends on who it is.
It don't depend on who it is. It depends on who it is. Hey, when you got 2 games,
that's why I asked, Cole. I knew it. That's exactly why I asked.
What does everybody that talks sports in America say?
It ain't gonna be no sweet.
Everybody says it's hard to beat a good team twice. Whatever, for sure. But what I'm saying is, you're asking like right now, we play the Cowboys twice a year. They beat us the first game. Are you looking at me to be like, oh, the second game is gonna be different?
I don't expect it to be a blowout when Jayden Daniels coming in.
Y'all are literally a bad team. We're not talking about 2 bad teams. We're talking about 2 good teams.
It depends on the team.
If y'all were a good team, no. This is the Eagles Cowboys. That's a better analogy. Don't talk to me about the Commanders. This is the Eagles Cowboys analogy. Y'all are literally trash.
Better yet, Ty, you was one of them.
Yeah, we're literally not going to be like, yeah, the Commanders would beat the Cowboys in the second game because we know what y'all team look like. And that's not a knock to you. What I'm saying is the better analogy is when the Cowboys lose to the Eagles on September 4th of the NFL season, the very first week, the very first game of the NFL season, and then they play again on Thanksgiving. We're not saying that these are the two that these 2 teams are the same teams that played in September.
Remember we played the line.
The reason that we getting on you about caping for a game, in August, it's not the same team.
This
is also what I'm saying.
You're NFL, talking about August 31st, and we're talking about December 10th.
Picking teams in the NFL to go to playoffs. They're not playing, and they're getting.
Now you're going up. You're missing what he was. Now you're missing what he was saying.
When you're picking teams to go in the playoffs, every single game matters. Whether it's played in August or it's played in December, because we have to pick.
Listen to yourself. You're losing your own argument. I'm trying to stop you.
The season.
Yes.
The
Ty,
season.
you're losing your own argument. I'm trying to help you.
From August to December.
Let him go, Cole.
We're picking the best 12 teams.
Right.
We're not looking at the last 10 weeks of football because the college football season is not just 10 weeks. That is my point. When we're talking about college, we're talking about from August to December. From August to December, Miami is a better team than Notre Dame.
Yep.
And by the way, Notre Dame lost to this Texas A&M team we're finna play. So why would you want to see them again?
Yeah. This
for the original point that me and Cope just said. You can't beat the same team twice.
Let me get him, B.
Go ahead.
This is where you lost your argument. And it goes back to the original question. You just lost your argument on your own. I didn't even need to argue it. You said this is not the NFL and it's different. This goes back to the original conversation. If this were the NFL and teams just got in based on numbers and whatever else, that there's no person, there's no group of people saying this team should make the NFL playoffs, right? There's no group of people. It's just a bunch of numbers and metrics that go together that give you a playoff format, right?
Right.
In the college football playoff, there's a group of people that give you the college football playoff format, right?
Yes.
This is where you lost your argument, because the original question was, how would you feel if your team goes out there and gets blown out? So this is what we're trying to get you to understand. If there were just a numbers system and you were coping and being like, oh, it is what it is. I mean, everybody can't win. That would be okay if we were talking about the NFL, where there's not a group of people choosing your team to get put in.
Exactly.
The reason that this is a question, the reason that this is an argument is because there was somebody who put your team in the playoff, which means the reason the question stands is because
they earned it.
No. The reason that question stands about how would you feel if your team went out there and got blown out is because we would then call the committee stupid. We would look at you and we would be like, your argument was stupid for putting that team in based on a game that happened in August. Because
you played, bro. No. Why do we play the game? Why
it's happened? It's already happened.
No. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Your point. No, I'm not telling you the game doesn't matter.
In August or November, they don't matter.
You're not listening. You're not listening.
Bro, I understand what you're saying. If you're saying,
no, what I'm telling you is it would make sense if this was the NFL. If this was the
Miami
NFL,
go out there and get blowed out, y'all have the right to be like,
right, bro.
Why did they let them in there?
You're right.
Why didn't you put Notre Dame in there, bro? Come on, bro.
No,
I get
you
the
cut me off
argument,
and
bro.
I didn't like
if
that.
they get blown out by Texas A&M, why did they get in over Notre Dame? I understand the argument. What I'm saying is, like I said, bro, there's only going to be one champion. There's going to be a boatload of teams that lose. If they lose to Texas A&M, cool. If they get blowed out, cool.
No,
you can't end it now.
That's the code. That's the code. That's the code, bro.
You have your own personal feelings.
That's the situation.
There's not feelings about it, dog. This is the same argument. This is the same argument we've been having for 4 years.
Because if they deserve to be in,
this is the same argument we've been having for the past 4 years about the group of 5 teams. Why are we putting group of 5 teams in playoffs with P5 teams? It doesn't make sense. It's the same argument when you put Cincinnati in there and they go and get blown out. When you put Texas, who was it? TCU, I think.
They earned it.
Yep.
No, that's not how that works.
Bro, and I hate that's how you think it works.
You're not gonna give me tight. When there's a group of people who chooses something, bro, if me and you are the group of people choosing something and we're wrong about
your word just means something, but it's not the one that goes.
Bro, just because you pick a team and they get blown out doesn't automatically make you
Ty,
wrong.
you're missing the point. Ty, you're missing the point, Ty. It literally does.
You're
Ty,
like, oh,
that literally does.
Got blown out. Notre Dame wouldn't have got blown out. How do you know that?
Ty, that literally does. When you got a group of people that picks, when you got a group of people that pick something, that's how it goes.
Why didn't Notre Dame get in?
That's not it. That doesn't
We
mean
bashed the committee 2 times for
You
this.
don't know what Notre Dame would
we
have done.
bashed the
You don't know
committee
what
every
Texas
year
would
for
have
being
done.
wrong.
Every year, Cole. Every single year we bash the committee for
every
this.
year for being wrong. That's
Every year.
never been a thing.
Their word is important.
You can't all of a sudden now cope because it's your team. We bashed the
Bro,
committee every year. We bashed the committee when it was
understand.
TCU. We bashed the committee when it was Cincinnati. We bashed
Don't try to say y'all in because don't try to say y'all in because y'all deserve it.
Personal. That is personal.
No. I'm not letting you do that. I'm not letting you do that, Ty. I'm not letting you do that because you just said that y'all in because y'all deserve it. I'm not doing that. No.
Bro, at the end of the day, what matters to me is what you did on the field. You can be like, oh, these teams didn't play against. They didn't deserve to play against Alabama or Georgia.
We just let you rant about Miami because you feel that way.
We moving. Y'all making bad arguments. We're going in circles. Anyways, Jesus, we're moving. This goes back to the argument though. James Madison goes to Oregon. Listen, from Virginia, we're Virginia boys, bro. I don't need to see James Madison go up to Oregon though. I don't need to see that. And for you to try to sit here and tell me it's a family-friendly pod code. It's a friendly family.
Finna lose by 50.
For you to sit here and tell me that they earn this and that even if they go and get blown out, this is the right call to make.
It's terrible.
That's based on the rules of the playoffs.
It's
those same rules for the past 5 minutes you've been saying they deserve it because the way you've been wording it is if the committee word goes and that's the important word, so they deserve it.
Bro,
that's not what that means.
Hold on.
By this ranked conference winners get an automatic bid. How is it James Madison's fault that they were one of the highest ranked?
That's not the point. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
It's not their fault. The committee's just dumb.
What I'm talking about is the format is stupid. We should have.
I can agree on that. But based on the format, they earned it. That's what I'm getting at.
Now you really ain't making sense. Now you got me confused.
Bro, I'm making sense. Y'all not listening, bro. What are you talking about? Y'all trying to make it seem like
that wasn't the point.
Bro,
I'm muting you again. I don't care. That wasn't the point.
JMU is going to the games they played and they went out and won.
He passionate about Miami.
It's not even that.
I'm not telling you. Bro, I'm not telling you.
Bro,
this doesn't
you want to be
matter.
mad at the committee? That is cool. I can say y'all can do that. Those are personal feelings. See,
the problem with this right now is you're going and not listening because it's Miami. You're not listening. You're just going about it.
Y'all. What y'all saying? I done repeated y'all argument 10 times. The argument just doesn't make sense. Bro, if y'all want to be mad if Miami gets blown out, bro, that is y'all prerogative. But trying to say that they didn't deserve to be in because they got blown out is an ill argument, bro, because you don't know what the other teams would have done. That is a hypothetical. Now you're living in hypotheticals. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter at that point. But if you want to be mad at the committee, bro, by all means, bro, go on Twitter, go on Instagram, say they're fucking stupid because they are. That's not my problem.
This is nasty. This is nasty, Ty. We watch NFL teams that got a set system make the playoffs, and we say they didn't deserve it when they literally earned it by being a top 7 or seed as far as their record, and we say they didn't deserve to be in. And you think that the few group of old white guys that go, excuse me, but he got me up there. A group of guys that decide what teams go. When the best record teams don't automatically go like the NFL, they choose because they choose them. Now all of a sudden you're saying y'all in because y'all deserved it.
More than that, but
it's over 150 college teams, and this one time, Cole, I know he can vouch, and I know you're gonna cap if you say you were. You was not thinking like this every time. You was not saying all 12 teams deserved it when they were always making it. You saying y'all deserved it. I said they
earned it. Deserved and earned are two different things.
Okay, cool. Y'all earned it. That's fine. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
Like we said, y'all earned it. Fine. Whatever. Y'all earned it. The whole thing was the problem with, like Kobe just said, like Kobe me said, it was the cope. My team have made it before in the playoffs. When my team got blown out, you know what it was? I had to answer a lot of questions. And
It's gonna
that's
be
what
the
we're
same
saying.
way,
And
for
that's what we're
sure.
saying is with the committee. You have to ask a lot of questions. Why did y'all put them in here? Why? That's going to be the big question, like a past few seasons
So
where
we
we've been
beat
on the
Texas
committee.
A&M. Are you gonna say why Texas A&M is in there?
No, because they were a top what? What were they, top 7 or 8? That was undeniable. Y'all got in barely. Texas A&M was undeniable. What are you saying? Now you're
Okay.
not making sense.
Okay. So if we beat A&M, and say we blow A&M out, you're not gonna question whether or not A&M deserved there. But if we get blown out, you're gonna question that we deserve to get in there.
That's
That's how
literally how that
everything
works.
works because y'all barely got in the A&M was a lock. That's literally how everything works, Ty. You know this. If a
We
You
7
couldn't-
seed,
trying to change the way that we have
you're
sports
trying to fit it
discourse
for y'all.
for a cope is utterly disgusting, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This
I'm
is
not
literally
changing anything, bro.
That was nasty. That was
You're
nasty.
literally trying to change the way that we talk about sports to
That
cope.
was nasty.
This is
Yeah,
where
that
it
was
gets
so
nasty
nasty.
because
Yeah.
this is
Bro, we're now living in double standards, bro.
talk,
No,
bro.
let
Talk.
him talk, bro.
You're not gonna-
You've been ranting about Miami.
Yeah,
Let him talk.
Come on, bro. I'm finna get tight. You're changing the way that we have sports discourse. And this is what I mean by that. When you say, if Miami gets blown out, the committee is dumb. But if Miami blows out Texas A&M, y'all not going to say nothing about it. It's literally how sports talk works. When a team already is in the playoff, doesn't need help from nobody else, they're already there.
We just had. I'm gonna wait.
Thank you. This was a top team all season. You literally were having this argument for the past 2 weeks, arguing your case. So, yes, you're right. If you guys go out there and get blown out, yes, we will say they were wrong. If A&M gets blown out and they came back and won, what are you talking about? That's literally more to the point. You go out
that literally shows even more case in point about
what are we
A&M.
talking about?
They didn't need help from anybody. That
They
helped.
didn't need help. They helped
They
themselves.
were about to
go
get.
out there, have a loss, and need help.
They were about to get put out by South Carolina. They were arguably probably about to get put out. And you know what they did? They put it into their hands. They not relying on the committee or anybody to get them a spot. They came out that second half and won that football game. When you're a top seed, you're automatically locked in. There's no help needed. When you're a low seed and you're trying to argue, you need help.
NFL teams lose, that are top seeds, we don't call somebody else dumb. You just say that the team didn't do what they were supposed to do.
They earned their spot.
Because it ain't nobody else to call dumb. They're like, what I'm going to do? Oh, man, the Cowboys lost to the Packers. You know how dumb Roger Goodell is for putting them in there? No, that's not how that works. Because there's nobody.
Literally.
There's no person to blame it on. When there's a group of 10 people, if y'all go out there, y'all get blown out. Yes, I'm literally going to be like,
exactly.
Notre Dame.
If we go somewhere, Todd.
And this is why the
my only question.
This is why
my only question.
I'm landing. This is why the cope is nasty. Because it's not just about y'all. If JMU goes out there and gets blown out by Oregon,
all of them,
we're literally going to be like, yo, why do we keep doing this every year? There's no reason for Group of 5 to keep having Power 5 playoff teams. It doesn't make sense to keep doing. So the reason that we're upset about the cope isn't because it's like, yo, like it's bad to do. The reason we're upset about the cope is because it's not just you. And you can't change the way that college football discourse has been happening for as long as we've been having a college football playoff just because it's Miami. No, we've been having the same conversation. I gave you examples. It was Cincinnati. We was having this conversation. It was TCU. We was having this conversation. It was Oklahoma that year. We was having this conversation like, yo, that team didn't deserve to be a top 4 team. When Ohio State missed the playoff, and I think it was Oklahoma and like Baylor or something like that made it, and they was playing at AT&T Stadium, and they got blown out. We was like, yo, Ohio State missed the playoff for that because they lost to Michigan.
Exactly. Perfect example, child.
This not just about Miami. We've been doing this for years on end. So
Wait,
you
let me ask you a
can't
question,
change
Ty.
it because of Miami. It doesn't
I
all of a
said,
sudden
bro,
become
this is the
they
thing, though.
deserve it.
I said
Like
they
what?
earned it.
Okay,
They
fine,
earned
whatever.
it.
Okay, whatever. They earned it.
But
Let me
my
ask you a
thing is
question.
this:
Let me
if
ask you a
Notre
question,
Dame
Ty.
got in, and they got blow, would you be saying, "Oh,
The
they should
same
let
thing.
Miami in"?
The
We
same
would
thing.
literally
We
say the
would say
same
the same
thing.
thing. The
Okay,
same
all right,
thing.
we can leave it
The
there.
same
Then.
exact thing.
If you're
So
gonna keep it
I
the
want
same,
to.
bro, we can leave it there.
That's what I was literally just explaining to you. This isn't
Yeah.
just a
It's not
Miami
about
problem.
y'all. It's all them Tulane,
This
all
isn't
them
just a
schools. It's
Miami
gonna
problem.
be the same
This has
thing.
been a problem for 10 years. This is the reason. Well, wait, I got a better one for you. This is the reason 2 years ago we
I wanted
changed
to say
it
Florida
from,
State.
no, this is the reason 2 years ago we changed it from a 14 playoff to a 12-team playoff. This is this is literally the reason that the college football committee changed the amount of teams.
I actually want to say that. I actually wanted to say that too, Cole. Remember,
because,
so let me ask you, Ty.
because
When
we was killing them when they was Michigan, Ohio State lost to Michigan. You can't put Ohio State in because now they have one loss and everybody else in the field is undefeated. We was like, yo, you know how dumb you are not to have Ohio State in the college football playoff any year. I don't care who they lose
so
to.
a few years ago, Ty, when Florida State went undefeated that year and they didn't get in with that 4 spot, do you think Florida State deserved to get in that year because they was
Yes.
undefeated?
Yes.
You know what happened the following week to Florida State?
Ain't nobody play because they didn't make the playoffs. I'm
They
not
played a
saying they was
bowl.
gonna win that game.
No,
But
they
what I'm
played a
saying
bowl.
is,
They played
what
a
I'm
bowl.
saying is,
What is
No,
this? Does somebody know who this is?
No.
Yeah.
They played a bowl. They played a bowl game when they didn't make the 4 spot, and they got punished from a
bro,
bowl
the
game.
3rd and 4th string played in that game. All the players opted out.
That's
after
why they
make the
didn't make
playoffs.
it because they didn't have their quarterback. The quarterback got a season-ending injury. That's why they didn't make it.
Bro, are you gonna sit and tell me that a 13-0 team does not be in the playoffs because their quarterback got hurt? So you're gonna
Did you watch Florida State when Jordan Travis went down?
Be in the playoffs because they coach left. Like, what are we talking about?
Did
Just
you
because
not
the
look at
quarterback
Florida
got
State?
hurt doesn't mean they shouldn't have made the playoffs. They earned that spot. They
Ty,
didn't
are you
get it because
serious?
the quarterback got hurt.
Ty,
Whatever.
are you serious? They literally went and got blown out the following week in a bowl game without said
You're
quarterback.
talking about 2 completely different teams. That Florida State team that played in the bowl game was not the Florida State team that went 13-0.
Did you see them? Cole. Okay, I'll help you.
That's what I'm convinced.
Okay, I'll help your argument then.
People like Ty are cool with participation trophies.
Ty,
Let's just put them in. You played. That's cool.
Listen,
I'll
help your argument. Wait, listen, Ty. I'll help your argument.
To schedule who they want to schedule.
Hold on.
We gonna pick the 12 teams.
I'll help your argument, Ty. I'm gonna help your argument.
This is what I'm saying. If you by your metric, we should literally just go back to a format where points and wins matter. Like we should literally just
format is gonna be perfect.
No.
Format is gonna be perfect.
You know what format is perfect? The NFL format. It's literally perfect. Because they
have 32 teams. You can't run that format for 130 some teams, and it's more than that.
Just listen. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The reason that the college football playoff format is cool is because it creates discourse. It creates nuance. There's conversation. We get to talk about it, right? So let's leave it at that. You can't just quote teams deserve it, so they should be in. No,
earned, not deserve. I said they earned, not deserve. That's 2 different words. With 2 different
by your metric, what's the difference? By your metric, bro? Because you can't and this is what I'm trying to get at. The Florida State team deserved it. Miami earned it. There's a difference. There's a true difference in that. That Florida State team deserved it because of what they did all season. And they went 13-0, so they should have been in. They deserved it.
Wait, so let me ask you this question, right?
Hold on, B.
Go ahead.
They deserved it. Miami actually earned it in the fact that they had all their people on the field. They won 10 games. They only lost 2 games. Cool. They earned it. The reason that we can say that is because in hindsight, did they deserve it? Yeah, that team, the rest of that team that was still healthy, deserved to be able to play in the college football playoff. Did they earn it? Yeah, but when their quarterback went down,
So hold on.
this is the good thing about the college football playoff committee. This is the good thing about
the only good thing.
We get to have conversation about it, because if the Bills right now had to go was in the playoffs and Josh Allen got hurt and they was going to play Houston, would you watch that game?
No, we no longer have Buffalo as the favorite.
Probably not, but it's a playoff game.
No. This is
bro.
Thank you. No. Don't say nothing else. Just let me talk. Let me talk.
Don't say nothing.
You just said you wouldn't watch that game. So this is the beautiful thing about the college football playoff committee. If you wouldn't watch that game,
you're not putting.
They wouldn't watch that game.
It's not about what I personally want.
No.
If you wouldn't, they wouldn't, because they think about the fans.
It literally is because the people that run the college football playoff are people. It's not robots and numbers. It's not. Sure. It's people. So you can't tell me all of a sudden that my personal preference doesn't matter, because actually it does. Because actually, when Jordan Travis went out and the whole world blew up on Twitter and was like, "Oh man, this team isn't really that good."
And that's exactly what I'm.
You know what they did? That's what they looked at it. They looked at it on Twitter and they was like, "Yeah, bro." Like,
and that's what I wanted to get you though, Cole, about what Ty just said. When you said that the whole team opted out for the bowl game, so they opted out. They opted out, right, Ty? This guy.
Stop pulling up on my pod with the road one, bro.
Hold on, P. Let me finish this to Ty real quick. So you said they all opted out, Ty. Those 2 weeks before the playoffs, before the players opted out, Jordan Travis already had gotten hurt. You know what they did? They won by single digits to a 5-7 Florida 2 weeks before the season ended, and they beat Louisville by 10 points. The committee saw both of those wins without Jordan Travis to end the season versus bad teams and said, we're not about to put them in the top 4 teams. And they proceeded to go get 60 ball by Georgia in a bowl game.
Bro. I get what you're saying, bro.
You're being terrible right now.
I get what you're saying, bro.
I'm with you, Ty.
Huh?
Oh my God! You're like nobody. Like we know what type of guy you are. You like to just like.
This is the thing. We know you with him. You're a college coach. We literally do not care.
What does that mean, P?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what that mean?
Because we know, and I know from experience that you're gonna come up here with some media train BS answer anyway.
It's not yet. This is what I'm saying.
I don't need to hear nothing from you. You're gonna come up here with the coach answer, bro.
Hold on.
It's not the same team when everybody healthy.
Listen, bro. Florida State earned the right to be in that.
No, they deserved it.
They earned it, bro. They could have. And when their quarterback went down, they could have lost.
Your quarterback went down.
Yes, that doesn't matter.
You're done.
This is the good thing about the committee.
Your point that you just made.
So wait. So you think they were wrong, right?
Hold on.
You think they were wrong, right?
Let me finish real quick. Hold on. The point you just made, B. They went and still found a way to win them games when their quarterback was down. They could have lost them.
That's not what the end of the play. That's not what the end of the regular season is for. The end of the regular season is your impressive games.
Let me finish. Their impressive games was winning without their quarterback to prove we can still win ball games without our guy being here.
To a 5-17, P. Are you serious?
Matter. You can't pick the teams at that point. Your schedule already set in stone.
The team is already.
They can't change Louisville's record.
The team as a whole is better than all those teams. Jordan Travis is what made them a national championship team. When your Jordan Travis goes down, that changes things.
They still didn't lose, bro. They still didn't lose.
You're the same guy. You're the same guy that thinks that the Ravens are a top team, and then when Lamar goes down, you say we can't win a game. So what is that all about? About us being about a team being a good team?
You ain't never heard me say that.
Let me give you the same analogy I just gave Todd.
You ain't never heard me say that. Heard me say that.
Let me give you the same analogy.
Tyler Huntley in. I don't be tripping.
Let me give you the same analogy I just gave Ty. Bills go out there right now. We know they got Superman over there playing football. Bills go out there right now. Josh Allen, God forbid, gets hurt. They have to go and play Houston. Is that a matchup that you still want to see?
It's not about whether I want to see or not. If the
See?
Bills go
That's
down,
what
it's
I'm
not about
saying.
See?
No, hold
That's
on,
what
hold
I'm
on.
saying.
It's
This is
based-
where you're missing the point. This is where you're missing the point. And this is something that I'm really not willing to argue it with you because this is literally factual. That is the reason that this isn't based off of statistics, numbers, and a bunch of robots in a room putting people in the playoffs. That is the reason that you have 10 people choosing who the playoff teams are. So when you cope and you say, it's not about what I want to see, it's not about what I want to see, it's about what that team did to deserve to be in. It's not, it's
about
actually
deserved.
it's earned, whatever. Okay, cool. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's literally about that because there's not just a bunch of robots in the room calculating numbers that tell you who's going to be in the playoff. If this were the NFL, that's why the Bills can still be in the playoff with Josh Allen and nobody will watch it. Right? But in the college football playoff, there's a group of people. There's a group of people that get to choose what we do and don't see. Their feelings towards it were the same thing as your feelings would be if Josh Allen got hurt and the Bills had to go and play in the playoffs without him. You'd be like, bro, this is bad bump. This is bad football.
We're still gonna watch it. That's what that's the point.
No.
We're still gonna watch it. And you know why we're still gonna watch it? Because we're still gonna get on the podcast and react to it. We're still gonna come here and say the Bills found a way to win without Josh Allen. We're still gonna come here and have the same remarks that we would have had if he played.
I don't like that you think that, P. I really don't.
We've done it already.
Because
That's the problem. We've done it.
Listen,
When Lamar Jackson didn't play in the playoffs for us and Tyler Huntley went and played in Cincinnati, we still got on here and reacted to that game. When Lamar Jackson didn't play, we still watched that game.
And that's exactly what the playoff and that's exactly what the playoff committee is trying to prevent. Everybody knows in football, if there's one position that you cannot play, that you cannot win and play at the same standard without, it's your general, your quarterback. Another position.
Plenty of teams win without their quarterback, bro.
You didn't listen to what I just said. I didn't say you couldn't win. I said play at the same level and the same standard.
That's
the only position.
If you win, the standard is winning.
Oh,
we all know the standard is winning.
Yeah, y'all nasty tonight.
Listen,
no, y'all the nasty ones, bro.
It doesn't matter if you win by 1 or by 100. If you win, you what?
This make me question if y'all played football before to see your quarterback go down. Yeah. Because this is like this situation right here is unlike anything else. Your quarterback go down, your team is cooked. Unless you have a quarterback behind him that is better or that is just not too far off.
That's not true, bro.
Hey, listen, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand, brother. And you don't have to understand. I don't care. We about to close anyway. It's 10:20. It's time to go. Y'all watch Nick Foles beat Tom Brady, didn't you? It did happen. It can happen.
Thank you.
It can happen.
Plenty of quarterbacks.
We're not saying it can't happen. We just saying.
And everybody watched that Super Bowl. Everybody watched that whole playoff run.
Yeah, you gonna watch the Super Bowl. This is what I'm telling you.
Bro.
This is what I'm telling you. Hey, listen. You don't have to listen. I truly don't care. I don't. Like, all I'm saying is at the end of the day, the College Football Playoff Committee creates nuance and conversation. So this goes back to the original argument. You can't change what we're going to talk about, whether it's your team, whether it's the group of 5 team, whether it's, I don't care if it was a high school team that went out there, we would still say they were wrong. I don't care if an NFL team went out there, we would still say that they are wrong. So going back to the original question, if Miami go out there and get blown out by Texas A&M, no, you're not going to be able to come up here with no, hey, man, it happens.
Why? It is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's
why though?
Because you just had to beg. Because you just had to beg and plead for them to get him in, and now the committee's going to look dumb.
3 weeks because you spent 3 weeks. Because you spent 3 weeks going on 30-minute rants about why your team should be in the playoff. So you can't come on here after the loss and it is what it is.
Okay,
bro.
wait, hold on. Did he say his team should be in the playoffs or his team is going to win a national championship?
I say we should be in the playoffs. Well, the
He
conversation
be in the playoffs, which means that they can still lose.
And if you get stomped out, if you get stomped out after barely squeezing into the playoffs, then that shows that you didn't deserve to be in the playoffs.
But if Notre Dame got in the playoffs and they got stumped out too, it's the same
Listen,
thing.
this is where y'all getting
It's
at.
the same thing. We already told him it was the same thing, Pete.
Wait. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. What's the point? What's the point of us getting up here on a podcast then? What's the point of talking? What's the point of having conversations about sports? Why are you here? If you're going to say it is what it is, if the Ravens lose every week and you say, bro, it is what it is.
That's the code. That's the code. That's the code.
If you get up here, hold on. If you get up here and for the past 3 weeks, you've been going on 30-minute rants about why your team should be in the playoff, and then you get stomped in the first round of the playoff, what's the point of being on the podcast? What's the point of talking about sports? What's the point of talking about the games? This is the whole point I've been trying to make. It's nuance. It's talk. It's conversation.
You know what it is,
For sure, bro.
It's Copenhagen that you're wrong.
This is what I'm saying.
Copenhagen that you're wrong.
This is the only thing I'm saying. I'm not trying to change the conversation. What I'm saying is my personal preference versus yours. Your personal preference is I prefer to watch somebody else after Miami getting blown out. That is great.
That's not a
personal preference.
Personal preference.
Well,
that's literally not a preference. That's literally not a preference at all.
I don't care who gets. Listen, at the end of the day, listen. At the end of this isn't me asking you what you gonna say if your team barely squeezes in and you get blown out in the first round. That don't have nothing to do with my personal preference.
The correct response.
My personal preference is that my team makes the playoff. My team is in the playoff.
Literally.
That's my personal preference.
Literally.
That's my personal preference.
Literally.
My team is in the playoff. The point is, if you wanted to just be a regular dude and just, man, it is what it is, then get off the podcast.
Now this is what I'm saying.
Now, Cole, let me tell you this.
No. I'm not saying that to you, Ty, to be like disrespectful or nothing. I'm literally saying,
I get what you're saying, bro.
What is the point of us getting on here and talking as a group? If you gonna
that's real.
After 3 weeks of having 30-minute arguments of saying my team should be in, to then after you lose, be like, bro, it is what it is.
And that's real because the correct real response is supposed to be different. The correct real response is supposed to be if you go get 30 ball after pleading for 3 weeks to get in. The correct response would be, hey, we took it on the chin. We didn't deserve to be there. We didn't deserve to be there.
I'm just saying though, he has for him as a fan of his team, he got the right to spend.
Take the fan out and use the realism.
He got the right to spend 3 weeks pleading for his team to get in. Now, the thing is, he can't control what they do once they get in.
Listen, Pete, you have that right.
Hold on.
Listen, Pete.
Hold on. So, because all he's doing is saying my team should be in, not my team should be. Hold on, listen, hear me out.
Here, you know that won't all you were saying. It won't just.
Listen, I'm speaking off of what I heard. Ty, he said Miami should be in.
No,
they beat Notre Dame head to head, and he feels like they're the team that should get in.
We're past that part. The problem was when he said that.
Let me finish. He says he spent plenty of weeks. We heard him talking about we should be in. But I've never heard Ty say we should be in because we about to go beat whoever or we about to go win.
That's not the.
What I'm saying is, if his team get in and get stomped, yeah, he got to answer. Well, what happened? You was doing all this asking that we should be in. But if he say they got stumped, but I still felt we should be in, what's wrong with that?
That makes the committee look crazy, and that's why we change everything.
Right there, the committee looks crazy every year.
And why do you think they can't get it right? Why do you think we went from a 14 format to a 12-team format, and now we're probably about to go to another format because of people like Ty who think that they deserve to be in after pleading, and they get 30 ball, and now the committee have to say, okay, we have to look at this now, and now we got to go somewhere else again. They're tired of doing that.
Who is that? Ty, you know who that is? Who is that? Savoy.
Yeah, that's my homeboy.
Man, you out here coping for your fans, bro. I don't want to hear from you, bro. Shout out to you for being here. He out here coping for his man, bro.
Nah, bro, it ain't no cope. He's a reasonable man, just like me. Y'all not listening.
Reasonable
You're
man.
thinking as a Miami fan. You're not thinking as a college football fan.
No, for real. Shout out to you for being here, bro. You be here every week.
This is another point I got to make. So we obviously like Ohio State's in the playoffs.
Y'all can't. All right, bro. Nah, don't be nasty, bro. Don't be nasty. That's a grown man. Not you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Y'all can't be teaming up on bro and y'all wrong, bro.
That's crazy.
Come on, bro. That's a grown man, bro.
A
grown man over there.
I'm good.
This is the only reason why I feel Ty where he coming from, because last year was the same situation with Tennessee for me. I felt like Tennessee deserved. They was questionable where they get in, where they not. I feel like they deserved to get in. They got in, and then they had to go up north, and boy, it got bad.
And everybody last season had said what about Tennessee after they got beat bad? Why were they here? The committee, why were they here? That's literally something that we have to answer to every season.
What else is you putting in?
The next option. That's literally why we keep adding
them.
Listen, that's why I'm telling you that the committee keep adding teams. They keep adding teams for that exact reason. We keep adding teams year after year because we keep putting in a team that gets trashed. Now, as Cole, like we said earlier, now this isn't going to last long with these champions for the conferences with Tulane, James Madison, and all these teams.
Win, bro. I try to tell
Those the rules. We don't make them.
What you want? What you want to put on, B?
Here's something you have to understand about college football. Here's something you have to understand about
Cowboys, though.
This is something that we got. All right. Here's something you have to realize about pro sports, right? We know. Well, at college, we know things are possible, right? There's a reason when we see a team like Oregon play a team like James Madison, it says 99.9% win chance. It's not something that we supposed to have in December and January for a playoffs. That's just something that's not supposed to happen. We didn't make the college playoffs to be seeing James Madison play Oregon.
Why not?
We played to see the best teams play the best teams.
Come on, bro. Don't start, bro. Don't start with this coach bullshit.
We made the college playoffs to see the best of the best play the best of the best, not a conference champion.
What are you saying? P. Keep the basketball coach at the basketball coach, bro.
I'm not even talking basketball right now.
Keep the football analogy. This is what we get at.
That's not.
Bro. The committee started this whole thing when they.
Bro, y'all keep cutting me off. I'm gonna kick everybody. I'm gonna start muting everybody, bro. Listen, this works in basketball, bro. We see it every March. This don't work in football, bro.
It don't.
It literally can't, bro. It
football
can't work in football. Those are two totally different sports in the way that they are played. The people that are on the field is totally different. It don't work in football. Physically, it just don't work in football. We talk about it all the time. What's the biggest difference between D1 and D3 football? It's not the skill players. It's not the DBs. It's the
physicality in the trenches. It's the physicality in the trenches.
These teams beat these teams.
It's not like college basketball with March Madness where UMBC beat the number one seed.
Northern Illinois go beat Notre Dame. Like, what are we talking about,
bro? This is not
what.
Did you just saw Northern Illinois last year go beat Notre Dame? We at Notre Dame. Like, what are we talking about? We just saw that.
Totally different situations, bro. We talking about, bro. If we talking about a 12-team playoff in December and January, why are you banking on that to be happening all the time? That's
nobody's banking on it.
So then why do we need to see it? Why can't we have a group of 5 playoff? Why we can't have a group of 5 playoff? Why we can't have a group of 5 playoff and a P5 playoff? Why?
That's the best option, Cole.
The reason they created it was because they were seeing it happening, and we had Boise State, we had UCF before they were Power 5 school, or UCF was a Power 5 school. We had these teams that was undefeated that never got their chance to show like we undefeated in our spot. We got some of the best numbers in the country. Why we can't go show and compete to see if we can get the job done? And then since then, we've seen teams go to Power 5 schools and win games. So the committee said, okay, we're going to give one of y'all a shot every year.
Now we got 2 of them.
And we're going to see what happens.
Like Kobe said, and like you said, with you being a basketball coach, bro, honestly, bro, like
I ain't even said nothing about basketball.
I'm not. I didn't say you said anything. What I'm saying is things that you get away with in basketball, you don't get away with in football, bro. You just simply don't.
Disagree with that.
And so when I watch, especially with me being from Maryland, I watched UMBC go and beat a number 1 seed in the country for basketball. That is the correlation of a college football MEAC school, like a MEAC HBCU going to beat a top 10.
That's
How is that crazy, Cole? That's crazy.
That's crazy, son. That's crazy, bro.
The Maryland team from here. Remember when the 16th seed beat the number 1 seed?
Yes, but that's not equivalent.
That Maryland team that year for basketball is in the category for those type of college football teams. MEAC and those type of teams, they were not above that. We're not about to sit here and act like they were.
They were though. That UMBC team was what Tulane is, was what James Madison is. If that team literally was a conference champion, they literally are the same thing. That team was a conference champion, and they went and did the unthinkable versus a Virginia team that was rolling. I'm just saying it's a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying I think all these teams going to come in here and make their mark. I'm just saying it's a chance that it can be done. And to not
every single team in UMBC conference, I've never seen not one of them ever play in my life.
No, F that. P, what conference do UMBC play in?
That doesn't matter.
No,
yes,
come on, bro. You're not about to tell me. You're not about to tell me.
Because the whole argument was the level they was on. Yes, it does.
They're a mid-major school. That doesn't matter.
They play for literally. That's literally the whole thing I just tried. That's literally the whole thing I just tried to
higher. That they were at a level higher than all the
HBCU MEAC football teams. They're literally in the same thing, if not lower.
And you trying to tell me like they're in the American East, bro? They're in the American East, and you talking about they're a conference champion. And I get it. That's a big deal in your conference. In your conference, you go out there and you play basketball. You lace them up the same way everybody else do.
Bro, I know guys right now that could go play for one of those teams in the American East.
I get it. That's disrespectful. It's the
it's not. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's comments like that.
UMBC point guard the year they upset Virginia was like a 5'9" point guard.
What is that?
What are we talking about?
What does that mean, though? What does that mean?
What I'm trying to get at.
You know how many great point guards is 5'9"? What does that mean, B? Like, don't do that. That's disrespectful, bro. All I'm saying is these teams should have a chance.
Yeah, all right, cool. Whatever. Appreciate y'all for coming out tonight, man.
You doing picks tonight?
No. We'll get to them on Friday. We'll get to them on Friday. 2 hours and 7 minutes in. 10:36. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us. It was a great show. We wasted a lot of time on college football. Nonetheless, y'all got to hear a great argument tonight. Great nuance, great conversation. Like, subscribe, follow the guys, tell a friend, tell their mama, all that good stuff. We'll be back on Friday. We'll do our picks on Friday because we did not get to them tonight. We got to go.